From putting the NBA on notice in his rookie year, to possibly being slapped with a massive suspension for his off-court antics, this is the rise and fall of Ja Morant. Let's kick this off with how promising the athlete looked in his first NBA season, because he took the league by storm as a rookie. I mean, he was doing it all for Memphis during their 2020 campaign. If you need a reminder of how terrific he was right off the bat, then look no further than his third game in the NBA. Ja and Kyrie Irving went at it when they met in October of 2019, treating fans to an insane duel. Kyrie had a great game, but the Morant-led Grizzlies came out on top. And it was all because Ja went full God mode, especially in the clutch. He played a huge role in forcing overtime, because not only did he score 8 of the Grizzlies' last 10 points in regulation, but he also blocked Irving's shot to win the game. Then, in the final seconds of OT, he dished a beautiful pass to Jay Crowder, who cashed in on the wide-open game-winning three. The point guard left the NBA world speechless with his performance, which was only a sign of things to come. Morant's fantastic performances earned him the 2020 Rookie of the Year award, and he followed this up with an impressive sophomore year. Though, at the same time, Ja wasn't looked at as a star just yet. But that changed following his phenomenal 2022 campaign. This dude came out guns blazing, as he averaged 35 points across the first 3 games of the season, leaving NBA fans starstruck. He kept up the amazing performances, earning himself his first All-Star appearance in the process. Morant finished the season with averages of 27.4 points, 6.7 assists, 5.7 rebounds, along with 1.2 steals, while his efficiency was spectacular. By the time the playoffs rolled around the corner, he played his heart out until he got injured in the second round. And there's no doubt in my mind that Memphis would have made it past Golden State if he was healthy. Either way, the 2022 season was a success for Ja. After all, the NBA world sang praises for him like crazy following his career year. Back in October 2022, Kevin Durant hyped up Ja big time. When ESPN asked the Slim Reaper if Morant reminded him of anyone, no one came to his mind, because he thinks the point guard is a unique player. Plus, much like everyone else, KD also pointed out how impressive the point guard's athleticism and creativity are. But the praise doesn't stop there, because even one of the most dominant athletes in league history made sure to give Ja his laurels. While speaking on Inside the NBA in November 2022, Shaquille O'Neal gassed up Morant, calling him the new age Allen Iverson, and then went on to claim that Morant's gonna be the best in the world by 2025. Though Shaq isn't the only former athlete who was impressed by the point guard's 2022 campaign. Even Kendrick Perkins couldn't believe how remarkable Ja was in just his third year as a pro. Perk called Morant a generational talent, before adding that he believes the point guard's a mix of Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, and Rajon Rondo. That alone is a huge compliment, though it was nothing compared to what Kendrick followed up with. Not only did he say Ja's already a superstar, but he even called him the next Giannis. Why? Because he believes the point guard can lead a small market team past the finish line just like Antetokounmpo did in 2021. Here's the thing though, Ja's off-court antics have been a major issue since 2022, and at this point, he's a walking controversy. As good as he's been on the court, there's no excuse for his actions off of it. But now, it's time to address the elephant in the room. When did things start to go wrong? The answer to that is May 2022, when the point guard got into a war of words with an NBA fan on Twitter. The fan was just trolling Ja about his dating life, to which Morant replied, "It's free to see how hollows feel." This left many shocked because he was threatening to shoot a fan, though this was only a sign of things to come, as his actions only got worse. Ja was doing all sorts of crazy things in 2022, but it wasn't until 2023 that fans found out about his behavior, and we can thank the Washington Post for telling us everything we needed to know. According to them, in July 2022, the head of security at a Memphis mall filed a police report, saying that the point guard threatened him during an argument. Around the same time, he also threatened a Foot Action employee. Then, a few days after that, Morant punched a 17-year-old boy during a game of pickup basketball at the athlete's house, leaving a large knot on the kid's head. What's more, the teenager told the police that Ja went back into his house and returned with a weapon. As if that wasn't bad enough, Morant said he was acting in self-defense. Yeah, right, Ja. We all know you're just trying really hard to be a tough guy. By this point, everyone started losing respect for the athlete. But instead of trying to be better, Morant decided to ruin his rep even more. On the 4th of March, 2023, the point guard went live on Instagram and recorded himself waving a gun at a strip club, leaving the NBA world speechless. Adam Silver acted quickly, suspending Ja for 8 games without pay, because his behavior was considered detrimental to the league. The NBA commissioner added that the athlete's actions were irresponsible, reckless, and potentially very dangerous. After all, as Silver pointed out, Morant has a huge fan following, with most of them being impressionable kids. So if they see him using a gun, they'll want to as well. Following the incident, Ja entered a counseling program and made sure to apologize to everyone. He told ESPN's Jalen Rose that he took full responsibility for his actions, while claiming that he doesn't condone any type of violence. But the damage had already been done, leaving a bunch of people disappointed, especially Shaq. While speaking on TNT in March of 2023, the Big Diesel called out Ja for making so many terrible decisions before saying his actions were unacceptable. The 4-time champ then went on to talk about how it was Ja's choice to hit that live button when he was in possession of the gun. If he never did something stupid like that, then things wouldn't have escalated the way they did. What's more, Charles Barkley was on the same page as O'Neal, as he said that Morant needs to grow up and stop acting like a damn fool. If only Ja took their advice, because he ended up doing the opposite of what they told him to. Just 2 months after the incident on Instagram, Ja was caught flashing a gun again. How'd things go down this time? Well, Morant was chilling with his buddy in a car, but then the athlete's friend whipped out his phone to record the moment. Sure enough, Ja could be seen waving a gun as if it was no big deal. The second people found out about the clip, it spread like wildfire. And now, Morant's future in the NBA is up in the air. Following the backlash, the point guard apologized to everyone for his actions. But guess what? Fans accused him of using ChatGPT for the apology. That might not be true, though the fans still trolled him like crazy and had fun with the situation. That being said, lots of analysts have made it clear that this is no laughing matter. According to Kenny the Jet Smith, since Ja made the same mistake twice, it's safe to say that there's something wrong with him rather than the people he hangs out with. Kenny added that while nobody's gotten hurt so far, things might take a turn for the worse if Morant keeps up his behavior. Plus, as Smith said, the athlete could also get targeted by the real tough guys to see if Morant's all talk or not. Shaq and Chuck agreed with him while pointing out that once you make it big, there's zero room for acting like an idiot. So now begs the question, how's the NBA gonna respond? After all, he'll only start to behave if the league comes down really hard on him. An 8-game suspension didn't do the trick last time, and that's why the NBA commissioner's gonna need to take it up a notch. The possible options are suspending Morant for 30 games, or, as Mark Medina suggested, maybe even the whole season. The only issue is that Adam Silver's not as tough on players as David Stern was. But at the same time, if he's too lenient with Ja, then he'll keep acting up. And no one wants that to happen. Whatever the case, we're gonna have to wait till after the finals for Silver's announcement. So, from possibly being slapped with a massive suspension for his off-court antics, to the point guard putting the NBA on notice in his rookie year, this was the rise and fall of Ja Morant.